Traditionally, Indian women were primarily responsible for managing household work and taking care of family, whereas men were responsible for earning and providing financial support to the family. However, with increasing access to quality education, there's a change in societal norms with greater acceptance of women as breadwinners. Another important factor that has pushed women participation in the workforce is the higher cost of living, especially in urban cities. On top of this, today everyone wants the best possible lifestyle for the family and for the kids. Nobody wants to compromise on quality of life. Hence, there is a growing participation of women in the workforce so that the family gets an additional financial cushion to afford a better lifestyle and also save and invest for financial goals in the future. Hello everyone, I am Sahil Bhadvia and welcome to another video of this educational series. In today's video, we are going to cover financial planning for women. Now when it comes to financial planning for a family, traditionally this responsibility is with husbands. Even if the wife is earning, the husband is supposed to take all financial decisions related to investments. Personally, I have seen many families in my friend circle where both husband and wife are earning, but only the husband takes care of financial planning. Not only that, in case of unmarried women, she is generally given this responsibility of money management and investment to her father. But I believe that financial independence for women is not just about earning, but also about how to manage it wisely. Or at least women should be actively involved with her husband in financial discussions. So in this video, we'll discuss some of the important points for financial planning that every working woman should keep in mind. First point is, keep a track of income and expenses. The first step of financial planning for every woman should be to plan the budget in terms of income and expenses. You should have a fair idea of how much you earn on a monthly basis and where your money is being spent. This tracking of cash flow is very crucial to have a clear idea on the major expense area and how much money you can save and invest on a monthly basis. For budgeting, you can always use various apps that can help you track your expenses or simply use an Excel sheet. While there is no fixed rule on how much you should save and invest, it is advisable to at least save and invest 30% of your monthly income. Second point is, build an emergency fund. There could be unexpected situation where women may have to take a break from her work. For instance, one of the common situations I have seen is during pregnancy. Some women like to take a longer break from work post-pregnancy to take care of the child. Likewise, another reason for taking a break from job could be due to health problem or family responsibilities. That's where you should build an emergency fund that can take care of 6 to 9 months of expenses, so that your break from your job does not impact your day-to-day life as well as financial goals. Third point is, take a term plan and health plan. Another very important part of financial planning is to ensure that you have a right health policy for the entire family. It's because healthcare expenses are increasing at a fast rate and can take just one accident or health issue to wipe out all your savings. So take a right health plan from day one of your financial journey. Also, you can consider taking a term plan for yourself that ensures that in case of sudden demise, your family can live a comfortable life. Although generally the husband in the family takes the term plan, I would suggest that even women should take a term plan. Fourth point is, avoid debt traps. While there's nothing wrong with enjoying your life, you must understand your limits. Today, one of the major reasons for financial crisis is due to high debt. The moment people start earning, they end up buying things on EMI which they can't even afford. And the more they earn, the expenses also increases accordingly. This is called lifestyle inflation. As a result, they end up with huge credit card bills and EMI payment. And people get trapped in the vicious cycle of debt. Hence, it's important that you don't take unnecessarily loan or don't buy unnecessary things on EMI. Then fifth point is, manage taxes efficiently. And efficient tax planning helps you save good amount of taxes. Hence, every woman should ensure that they plan their tax saving efficiently. For instance, if you opt for old tax slab, you can invest under Section 80C in instruments like PPF, insurance, NPS, ELSS and so on to reduce your taxable income up to Rs 1.5 lakh per year. Next, within Section 80CCD, you can invest in NPS to further reduce your taxable income by Rs 50,000. Then Section 80D helps you claim tax deduction up to Rs 25,000 by showing your health insurance premium. If you have a home loan, then your interest payment can be shown to reduce taxable income up to rupees 2 lakh. Or if you are a salaried employee and live in a rented house, then you can claim HRA, that is house rent allowance, to reduce income tax. Sixth point is set up SIP and equity mutual funds. SIP is a great way to invest and benefit from India's growth story. The best part is that when you set up SIP, your money gets deducted automatically from your bank account. So that helps in forced saving. Another aspect is that you can start with as low as rupees 500. So you don't have to wait to invest your money. The key here is to invest at an early age to benefit from the power of compounding. For instance, an SIP of rupees 25,000 a month for next 20 years can fetch you a corpus of rupees 2.2 crore at a reasonable 13% CAGR rate to build a good financial corpus that will fulfill your financial goals like children higher education, retirement planning, and so on. So in this video, we discussed financial planning for women in India. With increasing participation of women in workforce, there's a dire need for women to take charge of their finances and learn how to manage and invest their money so that women can truly achieve financial independence. Then we discussed 6 important steps for financial planning that include keeping a track of income and expenses, building an emergency fund, taking a term plan and health plan, avoiding debt traps, managing taxes efficiently, and setting up SIP and equity mutual funds. Now tell me in the comments, as a woman, do you invest your money yourself or not? And what are the steps you have taken to achieve financial independence? Well, I'll leave you with that thought. That's all for today's video, and I hope to see you in another one.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.